Greetings everyone, and this video is going to be another source series video, and this one is going to be on entities.
Greetings! This infinite source truth is made possible by the generous contributions and support of viewers like you. Please consider making a contribution now. Thank you.
All right. Entities are also soulless ones because they have no soul cages, and they are individuals who exist on the primary matrix who have paid for let's put it this way. It's as if they're having a holodeck experience, and the experience is the secondary matrix, and they pay to play a particular character in the secondary matrix. Now, their scripts are written, and they cannot change or move out of their scripted scripts. They cannot deviate from the script that has been given to them. But they are experiencing in the primary matrix the same things that we are experiencing here that is being fed to our source awareness in the primary matrix. Now, they can never experience levels 5 through 11. They are confined to the red zones experiences. Now, these characters, what I would say entity characters, exist on all frequency levels. But just like a source player has a representation, and soulless ones have a representation on the varying frequency planes, there is no consciousness of that entity in the higher frequencies, zones 5 through 11. Now, they have minimal choices based upon source players' choices within the red zones of the matrix. Anything higher, a level 5 or higher, is the matrix responding and creating the game experience for you as a source player. For most source players who are staying in their now and staying on their own stage, entities will not be part of their experience. You'll have an awareness that it exists in the game, but you will not be impacted and affected by an entity script, as it's not as likely that a source player will have much contact with an entity script, although some are married to entities by choices that they have made, and some have entities as fathers based on the choice that a source player mother had made. Entities are soulless beings. They are not source players. They are beings that we created in the primary matrix as a game experience, and they have the privilege of plugging into the secondary matrix and experiencing duality, emotions, and feelings that they have not experienced in the primary matrix. They pay for that privilege, and they experience one lifetime. Now, keep in mind that time is not the same in the primary matrix as it is in the secondary matrix. It feels much longer here than it actually is in the primary matrix. Time is only experienced the way we experience it here in this secondary matrix with its different timelines and stages. Stages, theatrical stages, world stages on different timelines and different continents, different stages, different plays going on, which are all interconnected, but they have their own stages. There is never any reason to fear entities as they are scripted. And if you're in fear, then you're in the red zone. And in the red zone, you have separated yourself from your source self connection and your soul cage, which is your soul, and you create problems for yourself. Get rid of the fear, raise your frequency. There is nothing to fear. And you create fear, just like emotions and feelings. You are the one that creates the fear that you experience in your experience within the secondary matrix. You create that fear within yourself. You need to grasp that knowledge of how that works within you. Now, if you feel as though you have been attached to, or you have an entity attachment, entity attachments can only come by consent. You drank alcohol. You have done one of many things that could give consent. Drugs, psychedelics, all of these different things that you, if you have participated, then you have consented to have an entity attachment to you. Raise your frequency, entity attachments will fall off, and you have the power over clearing those entities because you have the power by choice. It was your choice to consume the alcohol. It was your choice to participate in the drugs. It was your choice created the attachments. Now, if you remove yourself from the things that created the attachment to start with, and you clear the attachments, then, and you raise your frequency, then you are doing well and you will not have further problems with it. But if you do an action, if you make the choices that lead to lower frequency behaviors and put yourself in the red zone where attachments can be created to you by your consent because you have gone to the red zone activities, then that is a choice that you have made. You need to get rid of behavior. You need to raise your frequency and clear the entities from the choices that you have made. Using your intent. Your intent. Now you can go back to the videos that I did about the self-hypnosis and how the spinning tube and visualizing, if you need to at a lower frequency plane, you need something to visualize. Well, you can visualize the spinning pillar clearing everything off of you, including negative emotions and feelings. At some point in time, you will reach a frequency level where all you have to do is use your intent, and your intent will be more than powerful enough to remove any attachments through unintentional consent. However, if you continue with the behavior, you will drop your frequencies into a red zone, and it will take you longer to come out of it, and you will not be able to remove those entities as long as you are continuing in the practice of doing whatever it is that you were doing that consented to the attachments to start with. Pretty basic, pretty simple. Now, does every entity that comes into this game, some of them pay and they get body experiences, which are characters on the stages. Others pay and they get no body experience, but they become, as in entity attachments or spirits, that can plague and cause problems for source players because of their consent in their actions by participating and doing certain activities and things. It's choices. It's choices. So there are several different types of entities. Ones that are playing scripts and characters, which they can only experience the red zones. And the others are unembodied entities that only can affect your game should you choose to do activities that grant consent. And then continue to do activities, the same activity that grants consent. Now, there is no fear. There is no reason to be concerned about entities, even if you've given consent for them to attach to you. They drag your game down, and you have to be strong to resist the urge to go back and continue to do the activities that you did that gave consent for the attachments. You raise yourself to frequency level 5 and you have all of your bodies inside your soul cage. Well, you can't be attached to as long as you stay out of the red zone. So, your choices influence the effect that entities can have upon you in this game. And it makes the game more challenging. How well do you know yourself? Know thyself. Know why it is that you think and feel and make the choices that you make in the game. Are you drinking for social reasons? Are you drinking to escape? Are you drinking because for whatever reason? What's the reason behind what you do? And why do you choose to continue down paths that lead the same place every time? You can make powerful, empowering choices in your life experience. Recognize the game for what it is. Recognize your emotions, feelings, and your choices for what they are. Know yourself and make the most beneficial choices for yourself in this game. Now, if you find the information that I share and the work that I've done within the Matrix to be a benefit to you, then it benefits you to say thank you with a gift via PayPal. The link is in the description box below. Abundance, health, and prosperity to you.